What's up, Wolfpack? It's Juan Rubio. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of becoming a real estate agent. So I'm going to start off with the cons and then we'll go into the pros. So con number one is there's a very low success rate in real estate. So there's very few people that actually become successful and get to the level that I'm at currently. So I think there's a quote that says 90% of the money goes to 10% of the agents, because the 10% of the agents do 90% of the business. So everybody else is really just eating the crumbs, Most average agents do 4 to 6 deals a year, and if they're lucky, right? I've known agents that only do 1 or 2 deals a year. A lot of them are part-time. And so con number two is it's expensive. It's not as cheap as people think. It's not as easy as just taking a course. Not only are you gonna have to pay for, basically your course, which is a couple $100, you're gonna have to pay to take the test. And every time you fail, if you want to retake, you're gonna have to pay again. Then you're gonna have to pay for your fingerprints. You're gonna have to pay the Realtor Association for your MLS, which is the system that we use to look up homes. Every realtor has to have this system, and that system alone is a couple $1,000s. There's monthly fees, not only monthly fees with your brokerage, but monthly fees with the Association of Realtors. So there's the fees that you have with your broker, and then the fees you have with the Association of Realtors, and then the business license fees. So you also have to pay taxes. You have to get your business license in Las Vegas. You have to have not only your Nevada business license, but your Clark County business license. So you got to pay that every year. The MLS fees are quarterly, so we pay about $400 to $600 every single quarter. And then whatever broker you're at, you're most likely going to have to pay about $100 a month minimum just to be in that office, just to quote unquote hang your license there. So that's $100 a month alone, plus all the commission splits, your transaction fees. And I'm not even getting started on advertising and marketing or open house signs or business cards or any of that. That's just like the basic necessity of cost. Con number three is maintaining that license, right? So con number two is that it's not that cheap to start off, but con number three is that to maintain that license and keep it active, you're gonna have to take courses, renew your license, pay, like I said, the monthly fees. Every time you close a deal, there's transaction fees. And a lot of people that just want to get their real estate license part-time end up failing because of that. They realize that it's going to cost them more money to have an active real estate license than it is for them to just sell 1 or 2 houses a year. Con number four, business expenses. So being a realtor means you're an independent contractor and you're a business owner now. So when you become a realtor and you don't really have a team around you yet, you are the HR, marketing team, salesperson. You are everything. You play so many roles in one, and you're gonna have to spend a lot of money just to get your open house signs, your business cards, gifts for clients, so many different things. Your appearance, how you look, you're gonna want to look better. You're gonna want to always be clean cut, your haircut, all these different things. So business expenses start stacking up. Client dinners, all these different things. So those business expenses can really eat you up if you're not really selling a lot of real estate. Con number five, this real estate business is so cutthroat. Not only is there a lot of competition, but there's not a lot of people that are going to be willing to help you for free. And so not only is there a ton of competition, like I said, but unless you're going to be willing to pay somebody a big commission split, no one's really going to help you too much. Con number six is that you are not going to know anything when you first get your license. So as soon as you pass your exam, you did all this study and you've been studying for weeks on end, you pass this exam, you think you know a lot, and then you realize once you're on the field that you really don't know anything at all. Con number seven, so it does take a while for you to get paid on a deal. So think about it. From the time you meet a client to the time you close the deal, it might be 3 or 4 months for you to even see a check. So you're gonna have to learn how to manage your money correctly, because the checks usually, they're a lot bigger, but they're also, a lot less frequent. So there may be a month where, you make 5 or 6 grand, but you're not gonna see that check for 2 months. So when you meet a client, getting them pre-approved, finding them a house, and just to take them from the moment that an offer gets accepted to a closed deal is 30 days, if they're not cash, which, most buyers aren't. So it'll take at least 30 days minimum just for you to find them a house, get the offer accepted, and then closing on the deal. And aside from that, it's going to take you probably another couple days just to get all your paperwork in order for you to be able to send it all in, get it approved by your brokerage, and then get that brokerage sent, and then get that check cleared with your bank. So it's gonna take months sometimes for you to get paid on a deal. I have a deal going on right now that I've had it in escrow almost a year, and I still haven't seen any of that money, you know? So this is a commercial deal. Usually residential deals don't take this long, but if you're doing commercial deals, you know, I've seen stories of 2-3 years that sometimes you don't get paid on a deal, and sometimes that deal doesn't even go through. So sometimes you're working on something for so long and it may not even happen, and then all that work that you put in, you basically don't get paid for it. So it's a really disappointing time whenever that happens and a deal falls through, or it takes a really long time for you to close on one. Con number 8 is it's extremely high level of stress that you're gonna have to deal with in real estate. You're dealing with a lot of clients' money, sometimes your own money, a lot of negotiations, a lot of different parties in these deals. So you're gonna be the one that's pretty much maintaining this whole deal together in between the lender, the escrow officer, the buyer, the seller, the buyer agent, selling agent, the transaction coordinators, the inspector, the appraiser. There's so many people that are involved in the transaction that it just for one deal, you know, there could be like 20 people involved in this one deal, and you're constantly going to be having to update everyone, talk to everyone, constantly negotiating, constantly making sure everything's good. Now we're getting to the pros. So pro number 1, it's so easy to get your license. I mean, as long as you're 18 years old and you pass the test, you pretty much get your license. You got to take a couple courses, which are, you know, sometimes like 60 hours or something. But I mean, really, you could get that done in 2 weeks if you really wanted to. It took me 3 weeks to get my license at like 20 years old. I think I was like 19 or 20, and man, I just sat down, studied for 3 weeks, passed the first time, got my license. It's literally one of the easiest things that you can do. You know, and I don't want to discourage anyone by saying, you know, if you're not a good test taker, that's still okay, because again, I said it in my previous video, it's so easy to get your license, because when you fail the exam, if you do fail it, you can just keep taking it as many times as you want, as long as you just pay that $100 fee or whatever that fee is to retake the exam. So you can fail this exam, you know, 10 times and pass it on the 11th time. So even if you're not a good test taker, eventually, if you just keep doing it, you're gonna pass it. Pro number 2, you're your own boss. You make your own hours, you make your own schedule. So yeah, sometimes I run on my clients' times, but most of the time I'm able to, you know, tweak the schedule to make it fit whatever it is that I'm doing, whether I'm working on something else. I really do have that freedom to be able to do that, and to be able to schedule myself the way I want to be scheduled. And if I don't want to work one day just because I don't feel like working, I mean, I just reschedule my appointments the following day. It's very rare that that'll happen, but at least you have the freedom that you don't have to call out of work and you feel like you're calling your boss and you're gonna upset them, and you know, that whole scenario is just a headache. I personally don't like you know, having to respond to anybody, and so whenever I feel like, you know, I want to take 2 weeks off work and go on vacation, even though I don't do it often because I'm always so busy, the fact that I can do that without really having to ask for permission from anybody is just a huge upside. You know, whether you work from home too, you're going to be able to spend a lot more time with your kids or with your pets, whatever that scenario is. You don't have to always be in the office. You can work from home a lot of the times, and so that's a huge bonus just to be able to have that time. Pro number 3, so when you get your license, it's actually really easy to get hired. So it's so easy to get hired because you're the one doing the interviewing. There's so many real estate companies like Remax, Century 21, Keller Williams. They all love taking on new agents. And so for them, it's just a benefit to have. The more agents they can get, the better that their company is. There's a lot of brokerages that go by that model where they don't, you know, care how good of an agent or how much experience you've had, as long as you just have your license. So getting hired as a real estate agent is extremely easy, and you're gonna have a ton of different options as soon as you get your license. Pro number 4, so you guys can actually delegate a lot of the work that you do. And so for me, I'm at a level now where I can have a showing agent, a buyer agent, to go out and take my clients to look at houses, so I don't have to. And I can actually spend my time more focused on more important things that are gonna get me more money in my pocket, like my bigger deals, right? So I can focus my energy on a lot more different things like prospecting, while I can have my buyer agent, my showing agent, and my transaction coordinator be working my deals so I can have a lot more time to myself. So being able to delegate that work and being able to build your own team around you once you get going in the business is a huge plus. All right, guys. So yeah, we just finished driving, coming back from a showing we just had. So yeah, I'm finally back home. I'm gonna finish up this video and wrap it up for you guys. All right, guys. So pro number 5 is helping people. Man, it's incredible to just be able to help people. I know it makes me feel good whenever I can get a first-time home buyer to get a house, or help a veteran who didn't even know he could buy a house, get a house for free with, you know, the VA loan, 0% down. Sometimes I get their whole closing costs covered. So just being able to help out people, get them in a property and get the American dream of just being homeowners is amazing. Or even working with investors. I work with so many investors and I make them so much money. It's just incredible to be able to, you know, find a property for them, have them flip it, help them throughout, and then sell it for them, and just see, you know, them make $100,000, $200,000 profit on something that I found for them. So just being able to help people is just an amazing feeling. So yeah, that's pro number 5. All right, guys. So pro number 6, this is going to be one of my favorite ones, and I know it's going to be one of your favorites too. It's making money, man. That commission check is amazing when it hits, and especially if you're selling $1 million properties. They're huge checks, right? And so the commission checks are usually get 2.5% to 3% of how much a house is worth. So if you're selling $1 million property, or let's say you sell 2 houses for $500,000 each, that's $30,000. So that's pretty much as much money as someone makes with minimum wage, you know, which is actually insane. And all you have to do is, you know, if you sell 2, 3, 4 million, you know, you're gonna make 6 figures if you're on a good split. So as soon as you break that barrier of like your first couple deals of, you know, having to give away 50% of your commission or 30% of your commission to learn, once you know what you're doing, everything that you're going through, then you'll be able to just kill it and make some really good money. And the other thing is, obviously, there is no ceiling to how much money you can make in this business. And pro number 7, which goes into that, not only making money in commissions, but learning the real estate game, right? So pro number 7 is learning the business. And I don't mean real estate as an agent, I mean the investor side of it. You're gonna be the forefront of that first person that's gonna find out about the best deals. You're gonna find out about, you know, the best rentals, the best Airbnbs. You're gonna find out about the best flips. You're gonna find out about all these things because you're out there constantly on the field, you know, just talking to a lot of different sellers, a lot of different buyers, a lot of different investors, and you're gonna get a lot of opportunities to also partner up with different investors on these deals, wholesale these deals, and just learn. Pro number 8, and this is probably my best one, is that you get to do what you love every single day. So it doesn't even feel like you're working. So I know in the beginning of my career, I was working 12 to 16-hour days, constantly doing open houses. I still work that much now, but there's a lot of times where I don't even feel like I'm working. I mean, I really don't ever feel like I'm working because it's just a lifestyle to me. It's just something that is a part of my life, just talking to clients, looking at beautiful homes, finding investment opportunities. It just doesn't feel like work to me. And so if you, again, are really passionate about this, because remember I said, if you're gonna get into real estate, make sure this is something that you're gonna be passionate about. And this is just gonna be, you know, an amazing ride for you to just be able to do something that you love, because you're never gonna feel like you're working, and you're gonna be able to push beyond anyone else's work ethic and things like that just because you love what you're doing. All right, guys, so in conclusion, the pros definitely outweigh the cons for me. And if they do for you too, then real estate might be for you. And in addition, no one really controls my life except me. No one controls my income except me, how hard I work and the work I put into it. So that really helps me out. Just being able to know that I have control over my life, that is the most beautiful thing that I can ask for. I had never really found happiness until I found real estate in my career, in a sense of purpose in my life. Just being able to just control my time, control my income, to not have someone tell me I'm worth $8 an hour, $9 an hour, and me tell them that's not how much I'm worth, this is how much I'm worth, and it's because this is the work I'm putting into, and just building something that's bigger than myself, like my brand now, it means the world to me. And so when you get to that point where you're a top 1% agent, you're making a lot of money, and not only are you working, but you're just living it as a lifestyle, and you love what you do, there's no better feeling than that. And through that, you're gonna meet so many amazing people. Your sales skills are gonna go up, and just everything in life is just gonna get so much better for you once you find that thing that you love. And
if you're watching this video and you're just figuring out, you know what, this may not be for me, that's okay. But the advice I have for you is just figure out what you love and just go 110% at that thing and don't stop doing that. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for stopping by my channel. I hope you guys, you know, got a lot of information and knowledge from, you know, my journey of being in real estate and a lot of the pros and cons that I have. And again, if these pros outweigh the cons for you, then real estate might be for you.